Now, we're going to talk about one of my biggest pet peeves on YouTube. Pointless voiceovers. Voiceovers that add nothing to the scene and were hastily recorded. Probably in the talent's car on the way to Starbucks. Do I sound a little bitter? It's probably because if I had $1 for every time someone recorded a pointless voiceover, I'd have a second home in Lake Como. In YouTube, it's really common to use voiceover to drive the story forward. It's often seen as a band-aid. These ideas aren't connected, quick, do a voiceover. For some reason, people think you can fix it in post. If you can even take one thing from this course, it is that you cannot fix things in post. I urge you to fix it in pre. Voiceover is not a band-aid for bad storytelling. In fact, in film and TV, voiceover serves a completely different purpose. Voiceover in narrative is often used to give a point of view on a narrator, not the thing that they are narrating about. Think of some of your favorite media that uses voiceover. Films like Wolf on Wall Street, Fight Club, How I Met Your Mother. All of these voiceovers have a point of view. They aren't just spitting facts. In Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort's first line of voiceover is,
"My name is Jordan Belfort." Not him. Me. That's right. I'm a former member of the middle class raised by 2 accountants in a tiny apartment in Bayside, Queens. The year I turned 26 as the head of my own brokerage firm, I made $49 million. Which really pissed me off because it was 3 shy of $1 million a week.
This voiceover says more about Jordan than it does about the situation. It serves as a character-defining moment. On YouTube, it's very common to hear, "Today I'm swimming in a pit of money," for example, and that's it. That's the voiceover. But I have 2 eyes. I can see that you're in a pit of money. You have to add something new, or else this voiceover is just pointless. Give me an opinion on swimming in a pit of money. For instance, if Jordan Belfort was narrating a hypothetical money pit YouTube video, he might say something like, "Today I'm swimming in a pit of money, but that's just Tuesday." Add an extra bit of information that gives us a perspective on you. And as an editor, if your talent is insisting on including pointless voiceovers, you can actually do a voiceover workshop with them. In order to do this workshop, make sure your talent is at their voiceover mic and recording. And first, let's have them say their pointless voiceover. So this is Ashley, and her opening line right now is, "I did everything in Paris in 24 hours. For me, that sucks." And so I began to ask her why.
Today I'm going to France. I've always wanted to go to France ever since I was a little girl, and here I am in France.
Why?
France is romantic.
Why?
It's in a lot of movies like Sex and the City, and it's just really romantic.
Why?
I think like the Eiffel Tower and like pastries, they're like so iconic.
Why are they iconic?
I don't know, they're just in a lot of movies, and everybody says like Paris is romantic.
So you want a love story?
Yeah.
But why, right now, at this moment, you felt the need to experience your own love story?
Well, it was a hard pandemic. We were alone for so long.
What is it with wanting the love story in France?
It's just so different from America. And we literally never got to leave America for 2 years. We never got to leave our house for 2 years. So like, wouldn't you make the biggest play at travel if you were to finally travel after the pandemic?
That's a really interesting why.
Yeah. So how would that be a voiceover?
So I decided to go to France, one of the most beautiful romantic cities in the world. Because of the pandemic, I have been stuck in America, and it's been miserable. And so when I finally could escape this, I chose to go to one of the most beautiful cities in the world, Paris. Just by simply asking questions, which is just a bunch of whys, you can begin to find a really deep and personal opinion as to why they are doing these actions. And we found that just by simply asking why. So now that I've asked you those questions and simply asked you why, how do you think you'd write the voiceover now?
Maybe the opening line could be, Paris is something you have to experience firsthand. And I was locked up for 2 years in that pandemic. I wanted to experience something.
So instead of going, I did everything in Paris for 24 hours, it's now turned into that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's so much more beautiful. To conclude, voiceover should tell us something about the character giving it. Voiceover shouldn't just repeat what we already see on screen. It's easy to fall in the voiceover trap of telling and not showing. If you approach voiceover as a defining character moment, you will generate new information, instead of just repeating on what is already shown.